Hi guys, welcome back. It's Jax here. I'm going to be doing another flashlight review today. Now the flashlight I'm reviewing today is the Eagletac M3C4 with triple XML neutral emitters. Now I have reviewed another Eagletac light similar to this, but and that was this one. The difference is this one was the M2C4, which was triple Cree XREs, and this one is the new M3 model that replaced this model. So this is the new M3 series, and we'll talk about the differences from the previous model. But this is another triple, and it's the XML M3. So okay, so I guess we'll get right into it here. I got a note that this flashlight is not my own. It's being lent to me by a courtesy of my sister, who owns the light, and she kind of gave it to me to review tonight. So if you guys watched my first video, I reviewed this light here, which was the Eagletac M2C4 with the triple neutral white Cree XREs. And as I was telling you in that video, this is a thrower light with great spill. Now, a little bit of a departure from that today, and we'll put this back there for a second. So what we have here is the latest version of the, the triple XML version of the M3. The build is different than the M2 series, and you know what, maybe we'll dive into that right off the bat. So I got the camera set on macro, so I'm going to put these side by side. I don't know if I can get the whole light into the picture, but so really similar kind of overall format, parallel battery design with a rectangular tube battery compartment. Same kind of anodizing, same red ring, stainless steel, same red ring and the stainless steel craniated strike bezel. Same, probably the same package, accessory package and stuff like that. Now the real difference is, as you can see, there's quite a few differences, I might add. So we'll start at the very bottom here, and as we work up, we see that the band of knurling is narrower on this light and about the same texture, maybe a little bit grippier, pretty similar. Really nice feeling on the new light. And as we move up, you see that the head now has machined in heat sink grooves into the aluminum. That's there to increase surface area for cooling. And it's probably a good thing since you have 3 XMLs in there. As you can see, the control ring rides a little bit higher. You can see this one's a little bit lower and this one's just a touch higher. The rubberized coating on the first M2 series, which had a kind of a problem with wearing off, as you can see by the shiny spots, which isn't a problem because eventually it's gonna look like this one when all that wears off. But so Eagletac did away with that rubberized coating on their new light. I'll see if I can get some flashlight light on there. But on their new light, it's a bit different. Otherwise, it's a similar control ring, so it's very similar that way. Now moving up, you can see that the M3 is taller at this ridge here than the M2. So again, there's some difference in the head height and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I think the diameter of the head is the same though. So Eagletac has different graphics on their light. It's kind of a bigger, more you know, a bigger Eagletac emblem there, or Eagletac writing, but this time they included a picture of an eagle, where this one doesn't. And then just Eagletac M3C4 on that side. Now, as you can see, the battery tube is different. This This one here has more channels cut into it and smaller channels, and this one here has bigger and less channels, and pretty good grip on that. Just enough bite or you know, sharp edge to grip, but not enough to like cut your skin or anything like that. And then I have to pick up the camera for the rest here. So as you can see, the from the top there, it still has the clicky switch tail cap, and looks like they did away with the rubberized coating on the tail cap itself too. And the whole light is just a bit taller than the previous M2 models. So that's the some of the physical differences. Pardon me while I adjust my camera here and put my filming light back on the hook up here. So so that's some of the physical differences. There is a few more. Where the M2 series used star-headed screws in the build of the light, Eagletac went and replaced that with Torx screws, and I'll have to check and see if that's all throughout the light, but they did replace the star-headed screws with Torx screws in the new one. I noticed that the control ring on the new M3 feels a lot smoother and stiffer than my old M2, so that's a little bit of a different feel there. Also, the new light has they also affixed, a lot of people were complaining because if you turn this light on and went too far, you went into strobe. So what Eagletac did is they corrected that in the new model by making the SOS strobe and beacon flashing modes into a hidden thing. So to access that, you would have to purposely you know, command the light to access that. Otherwise they're invisible. So they're hidden modes. But as you can see, when you take it, ramp it up to its maximum, you're not going to bump into that strobe. You're just going to bump to maximum. So we'll show you how to access those other modes. Well, I'll show you right now, actually, for the sake of doing it while I'm here. But so the light's on maximum. To access the hidden flashing modes, you would simply grab the control ring and quickly dial it back to 0 and back to forward again really fast. So if you cranked it like that, you can see it goes into a variable high power tactical strobe at full power, I believe. And if you were to crank it quickly again, I don't know if this is beacon or SOS. It's gotta be maybe it's a slower strobe. I'm not sure what that is. Crank it again. There's your SOS. Yeah, there's your SOS, and crank it again, and it goes back to the normal mode cycling, to the normal output level. So we'll turn that off. So a little bit different user interface. This one here had four output levels and a strobe. And this one here has 5 output levels and 3 flashing levels for a total of 8. So big differences in the or some differences in the build quality, or not quality, I should say. Differences in the build. Just looking the light over to see if anything else is different, but it doesn't appear to. Okay, so oh yeah, the new M3 model, which is this one, does away with that little marking on the ring and where is it? And this marking on the head, because it no longer needs that. That was there to tell you where turbo is, so you didn't go too far and put it into strobe. So that's the difference there. Now, these are both triple lights, very similar build. I think that the innards are, a lot of it's the same, I guess. So there's different electronics in this one, and maybe a different driver because it has to, you know, drive 3 Cree XMLs. But so a little bit of differences there. Now, I forgot where I was going with this, but so I'm gonna put this one aside for now, and we're gonna pick this up. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the first Eagletac video, but the M2 video, but these things feel good in your hand. They have a nice chunky, solid, substantial feel. The parallel battery design does away with the extra inches that you might need if you had a 218-650 light stacked on top of each other. Now, having said that, I gotta mention this has the same format as the M2 series in that it will take two 18-650s in the same kind of battery carrier, parallel battery carrier, or 4 CR123. So it's the same as the earlier M2 models. So we'll go ahead and we'll tell you a little bit about the light. So up here we have the cool white XMLs, and I don't know if they're T6. They're probably T6. I don't think they're U2. I don't think they're the U2 bin. I'm just looking on the website here, and I don't know if it says, but if it was U2, they might say it was U2. So I'm guessing these are T6s, XML LEDs. In the same kind of triple reflectored, smooth reflector design as this guy here. So those great big XMLs in there change it up a little bit. Now, this light here, I should tell you right off the bat, differs from my other Eagletac that I was showing you over here, in that this one is has just different beam characteristics, given that it has the triple XMLs in it. Now, if I had to describe to someone what this light was, I would say it is a floodlight with adequate throw, and it just so happens to have enough lumens and enough throw that it's a immense high power floodish type of beam with enough throw to punch, you know, 150-200 meters into the distance and more. But it's not going to be it's not going to be a dedicated thrower. In fact, it's more of a useful general type of beam, but it just so happens to have enough throw that it punches into the distance pretty good. Just nothing like my triple XREs, which probably shouldn't surprise anybody that knows anything about flashlights. So this one has twice the lux than of this one. This one has like 25-30,000 lux at 1 meter because of those XREs in there, and this one here has I think it's let me see, I think it's 13,000. This one here has 13,800 lux, so half the lux as the other light, but what you get is a broad, powerful floodlight. And this is perfect. This light is really nice. This would complement any household, man. Is this thing ever nice? Its beam quality is super awesome. If you don't want a great big blazing hot spot and you want something that's still, this thing still gives a pretty decent hot spot, but it's a very handy light if you have to light up a whole driveway, or the whole basement of your house, or a whole portion of your campsite, things like that. This kind of beam is really a good general everyday type of beam. Walking down a forest trail, this is gonna light all parts of that trail up. It might not throw the light as far down the trail as the other Eagletac here, but this is a really handy, really awesome type of beam profile. Broad, really huge hot spot, and it's just excellent. I gotta say, it's really awesome light, and you could live with this light. And it has enough power and enough throw that it also will it'll serve if you're out in a boat and you're looking for your dock in the dark, you know, 150 meters away, stuff like that. It'll still light up a shoreline, you know. It still has adequate throw. So really super useful beam. In fact, before I made this video, I was using it outside, and I I was thinking, oh yeah, this is a really useful everyday type of beam. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna pick the camera up here. These things have a really nice feel in the hand. It just feels good. Look at how small it is. Nothing too crazy. You could throw this in your pocket. You know, it's doable, man. It's a really nice light. It feels good. It looks good. It's heavy. Has a robust kind of quality feel to it. And that beam is just awesome. And sorry if I didn't mention this earlier, but pardon me while I adjust my camera. But beam shots, I should always mention this, but as usual, my usual format, beam shots will be in, you can look for those in the part 2 of this review. And that way I could take the camera at a macro and take this outside and put it on a regular setting and show you what it's like. So beam shots as usual in part 2. So, like I was saying, I better start telling you about the output and the run times and stuff like that. So, I started telling you about the beam characteristics. Really nice, guys. You would love this. I mean, it's a really awesome beam. So useful in an everyday sort of situation. The reason my sister was looking for a powerful flashlight, and she bought one from Cabela's, and she had trouble with it right away. Pardon me. So I suggested, I shopped around and thought about what kind of application she wanted the flashlight for, and she wanted it to check for bears in her yard out here at the lake, bears and wolves and stuff like that. So I was thinking her yard's pretty big, so she needed a big floody type of light to cover a lot of ground all at once, and this will light your whole yard up all at once. It's not like this light, and where you have to point the hot spot in places. This is such a great light with great spill, but this is just an even more broad and floody beam. So really nice beam quality there. Now, 5 output modes. So a lot more than the M2 series. I think it has, okay, so we'll get into that. So, like usual, yeah, okay, so like usual, it has the magnetic control ring, which I told you had a nice, stiff, very smooth operation. This thing's way smoother than my M2. Also, screwing it in, is a lot smoother feeling than my M2. So so there might be some difference there. I also noticed that the threads were anodized, but I'm sidetracking here. So really nice smooth ring. Now, as with the M2, it starts out, you turn it on if I got it on. So from off, you would rotate the ring, and as you rotate it, it starts off in low when you're rotating the ring. So I'm going to read the I'm reading this off a little iPod Touch online kind of thing, so pardon me for a second. So low, I believe, is, and these lumen values I'm going to give you are ANSI lumens, so they're the out the front lumens. So low is 28 lumens, which is really nice if you're in a tent. Or reading in your bedroom, or you had this on your nightstand and you wanted a low mode to not wake up your wife or whatever, and just enough light. This is a really nice low setting. For those of you that love low lows, like I said in my other Eagletac video, you might, 24 lumens isn't as low as 1 lumen or half a lumen or anything like that, but still pretty low. So anyways, rotating the ring, and it goes into 78 lumens. This is enough to walk around your yard. Well, all modes are enough to walk around your yard. It's just depending on how much light you want to, see with. But so sorry guys, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So I'm gonna go back to low and say it was 28 out the front lumens. And what I was forgetting to tell you was the run times. So 28 lumens is good for 65 plus hours of continual regulated output on the 218-650s. So 65 hours on low, and I'm just trying to find the rest of the stats here. Okay, so moving up, the second output is, like I said, 78 lumens plenty bright for poking around your house, or if the power goes out and you know, bumbling around your campsite and stuff like that. So 78 lumens is good for 15 consecutive hours. Now the third setting is, now it takes a pretty good jump up to 218 out the front lumens, and that's plenty good for walking around the, you know, the bush and you know, if you are camping and stuff like that, working under the hood of your car, or you know, stuff like that. And that 218 lumens is good for 6 consecutive hours. So rotating it again, and now we're up to, it doubles its output up to 480 lumens out the front. This is starting to get pretty potent, and well, you know, it's enough. I was using this tonight, and that's plenty of light, and good for a lot of you know, outdoor activities and stuff like that. You might not need to put it on maximum. You know, you might be able to get by on just the 480 lumens for most every thing. And that runs for, let me see, that one runs for 2.5 consecutive hours at 480 lumens. And the final output is a full-blown 1011 ANSI lumens, and there it is there, 1000 lumens, or almost double what my other Eagletac put out. 1000 lumens. So you can see why it has that. It's just a powerful, excellent floodlight with a ton of output. It's not the brightest floodlight out there nowadays. Now there's triple XMLs putting out like, you know, 2,000, 3,000 lumens, and they're, you know, really the king of floodlights. But this is a lot of light, and it's probably, you know, maybe half the price of those other ones. So it's a good, you know, it's a good light for that. But so anyways, so 1011 out the front ANSI lumens on its max. Now, one thing I did notice is that the and the runtime for that is 1 hour. So that is down by about. So anyways, this light on its max at 550 to 600 and some lumens on its high ran for 1.2 hours. You know, maybe a little bit more with better batteries. And this one with almost twice the lumens runs for an hour. So that's good that way. But I just noticed that an hour was a lot less than, you know. But anyways, that's 1000 lumens for 1 hour. So I'll quickly recap. 28 lumens for 65 plus hours. Second is 78 lumens for 15 hours. Third is 218 lumens for 6 hours. Fourth is 480 lumens for 2.5 hours, which is pretty good. That's a good runtime. And 1011 lumens for 1 hour. So that's the totals there. I think the SOS and the strobes and the beacon or whatever those other ones, I think they're all at full power. You know, I'll check it right now, see if you can adjust the power. Let's see. Nope, you can't adjust the power. So all the flashing modes will be at maximum power, which is 1000 lumens, 1000 plus lumens. So I'm just looking to see if they give run times for the flashing modes here. Yeah, so strobe is good for 2 hours. The slow strobe is good for 1.9 hours, and the SOS is good for 4 hours. So those are the run times for the flashing modes. And I'm looking on the website now, and I do see it is indeed T6 XMLs of a cool white color temperature. So anyways, guys, let's, now that I'm on the website, let's tell you a little bit of more stuff about this. It says it's an 11 watt high output LED flashlight. It has 5 output levels, 3 hidden modes. Oh yeah, okay, so up here we have the typical what Eagletac calls the okay guys, you know what, I'm going on 25 minutes. I'm gonna have to take this up in part 2, so if you want to see and hear more about this light, we'll take it up in part 2, and I might have to do a part 3 for the beam shots now. So hopefully you stick with me and see this light perform. Okay, see you there. Bye.